Yo, what's going on? Quick request for this in the Buttercade Discord for how to assemble a train button. And I was like, yo, this sounds like a good time to slap one of these together. You don't care about all that. So doing this real quick. When you get your button pieces out, you should have, I have to count this real quick, 7 pieces. Well, you'll get 6 pieces. You'll need a seventh. You'll actually need an eighth. You should have a button cap. You should have the button housing. You should have the button screw. You should have the PCB. Hopefully it is assembled. And you should have two, I don't know the technical term for this, hex screws. Yeah, sure, hex screws. You will need a switch. And from what Train said, I think this is exactly what you need. You will need a switch that has a RGB slot. If I'm horribly wrong on what this is called, oop. You will also need a hex key, hex screwdriver, Allen, whatever this thing is called, some little thing to screw the screws. It's actually pretty simple to do this. I think it's pretty simple. I can figure it out. So you can do this too. First thing you do, take your switch, take your cap, connect. Um, I don't know if there's like a right or wrong way, but you'll look at it and you'll see there is the cross on the top of the switch. Let me pull this out again. Cross on the top of the switch, cross on the cap, slot them in. Should be pretty easy. If it's not, just like I did, you can pull them out and put them back in however you need to arrange them. Next thing you do, get your housing. And you're going to put the switch in the housing, but you want to make sure to line it up so that the button on the left side is on top. Button on the right is on the lower side, on the bottom side. Just press it in like so. And then you will take your PCB. Hopefully these bins aren't bent for trying to pull this out. Take your PCB, flip it around, and you will just gently slide the prongs on the switch into the hot swap. Yeah, hot swap connectors in the PCB. I don't know the terms. We're working with this. All right. Just press them in. Goes in pretty smooth. And then the last thing you will need to do, well, I guess the second to last thing you'll need to do is you have your 2 screws that you need to screw in. Pick whichever side is your favorite. Put the screw in. Get your wrench or your key or whatever this thing is called. Screw it in. And I mean, you can just do it a little bit just to make sure it's lined up. Or you can do it all the way. I don't know if there's a good thing or a bad way to do it one way or the other. Just don't do it so hard that you like somehow crack the PCB. I haven't done that yet, but putting that warning out there just to have a fair warning. Make sure it's nice and snug. Got my left one nice and snug. Got the right one nice and yeah. No, I don't. I lied. Hold on. Got the right one nice and snug. And then the last thing you'll do when you go to put this in the case, you'll take your button screw and you will finger screw it on there. And you're gonna finger screw it because they don't have a button wrench for this yet. I threw the idea out there to them. Maybe it'll happen, but who knows? A little word of advice because I've put a set in. If you go to finger screw and it gets really rough, like you have to force it at some point, do not force it. If you try to force it, I don't know. Again, I don't know technical things, so I don't know like if the threading is wrong or something like that, defective from the molding. But it's really possible for it to get stuck, and it'll be really hard to pull out. It's still possible to pull out. It'll just take a lot more strength than your fingers. But anywho, this is the button put together. And to make sure it works, I happen to have a button tester here. With my button tester, just connect it to the quick disconnects. Yeah. And then here is button tester. See if I can get you to see it. Here's button tester. Here is button. And there you go. I think that covered everything to putting it together. Yeah, that's best I got. I saw the audio was a little too high. Oop, I ain't changing it. Hope this is good enough. Bye.